This is IQD and VND, and today's update may be one of the most important we've shared so far. The Iraqi Dinar community has been waiting for years to hear a structured explanation of how exchanges might actually happen, and now, for the first time, that framework has been revealed in official form. What makes this development so powerful is that it is not based on speculation, rumors, or community chatter. Instead, it comes directly from Iraq's official publication, confirming exact steps and clear rules for the 2025 exchange. That is why today's report has immediately captured the attention of every serious dinar holder worldwide. For so long, the conversation about Iraq's currency has been filled with uncertainty. Investors and observers have had to rely on vague political comments, speeches by central bank officials, and occasional market moves to piece together an idea of what could happen. But none of that provided the solid roadmap people truly needed. Now, however, the release of clear guidelines changes the picture completely. Instead of simply speculating, holders finally have an official document that lays out how exchanges will be processed, who will be prioritized, and what documents will be required. This marks the first time in years that clarity has replaced guessing. The first detail that stands out is the structure of the exchange itself. According to the outlined rules, the process will not be identical for everyone. Instead, exchanges will be handled in phases, with groups of holders divided into different tiers. This approach allows banks and financial institutions to manage what could be an extremely complex rollout in a way that maintains order and stability. It also means that while large institutional holders may move first, ordinary individuals are very much included in the framework. For retail holders, this is a point of reassurance after years of wondering whether they would be left out. Another important element in these rules is the emphasis on documentation. The update makes it very clear that anyone wishing to participate in an exchange will need to prepare their paperwork in advance. This includes valid identification, proof of purchase of dinar notes, and any other records that might be requested by the financial institution handling the process. The reason is simple: security and accuracy. By requiring full documentation, Iraq aims to prevent fraud, mistakes, or unauthorized activity for holders. This means that simply possessing the notes will not be enough. Being fully prepared with the correct paperwork will be essential. Timing also plays a major role in this announcement. The exchange process will not begin suddenly without warning, nor has it been scheduled to begin immediately. Instead, the framework explains that there will be signals leading up to the official start. These signals may include internal notifications to banks, changes in how smaller denominations circulate, and tiered announcements. For anyone closely following the process, paying attention to these signs will be critical. Those who are alert will be better positioned to act when their opportunity comes, while those who miss the signs may experience delays or complications in their exchange process. For years, discussions about the Iraqi dinar have focused heavily on the large notes that are widely held, but in this announcement, smaller denominations are given special attention. The framework explains that lower value notes will play a significant role in how banks internally prepare for rate adjustments before any major announcements are made. Circulation of these smaller bills could provide early signals of change. This means that holders who carefully observe how lower denominations are moving within the system may gain valuable insights about the upcoming phases, organizing and verifying all denominations. Not just the higher value notes becomes a smart part of preparation. Security and regulation are central to the framework. Iraq has made it clear that the exchange will be handled in a highly structured and tightly controlled way to prevent any financial instability. A phased rollout has been designed so that banks are not overwhelmed and so that fairness is maintained across the different tiers. By moving step by step, authorities hope to avoid sudden shocks or disorder within the system. For holders, this means confidence in the process. Instead of facing confusion or chaos, they can rely on an exchange that is designed to be organized and transparent. Another striking element of the announcement is the focus on international coordination. Iraq is making an effort to align its banking practices with global standards, which will be crucial for ensuring credibility in the long run. This includes modernizing financial systems, updating compliance measures, and strengthening trade agreements. These moves show that the country is not simply preparing for a one-time event but is positioning its economy for longer-term growth and stability. By taking these steps, Iraq signals that currency reform is part of a much larger strategy to strengthen its role in the global financial system. The framework also draws comparisons with other nations that have used economic reform to strengthen their currencies. Vietnam is often mentioned as an example, as it has improved its financial standing through trade expansion and international cooperation. Iraq appears to be moving along a similar path in 2025, linking its currency exchange plan with wider economic reforms. This connection highlights the idea that the exchange is not just about holders gaining from revaluation, it is part of a vision to stabilize the economy, increase investor confidence, and prepare for sustainable growth that benefits the entire nation. With such major steps ahead, security for holders becomes more important than ever. The framework strongly advises safeguarding physical currency and avoiding risky practices. Exchanges should only be carried out through official, verified channels, and holders are warned against attempting to cut corners. The risk of delays, or even the loss of value, could arise if the process is not followed correctly. This message underscores the idea that while excitement is understandable, discipline and caution will ultimately ensure that the process unfolds safely and successfully for everyone involved. The rules also address expectations about exchange rates. While no official rates were confirmed, the framework provides illustrative ranges to show how the process might unfold. These examples are not promises, but they help holders understand the mechanics of what could happen. This emphasis reminds everyone that the exchange is not designed to deliver sudden surprises, but rather to follow a structured, step-by-step process. The key takeaway here is that understanding how the system functions will be just as important as staying alert to official signals when the time comes. Patience is another recurring theme in the announcement. The framework makes it clear that the exchange is not intended to be rushed. Instead, it will move forward in carefully organized stages, allowing financial institutions to adapt and ensuring that fairness is preserved across the different tiers. For holders, this means maintaining readiness while also recognizing that it may take time for the process to fully unfold. By planning ahead and remaining observant, participants will be in the best position to act when their specific window arrives. Beyond the immediate impact on individual holders, the framework highlights the broader economic implications for Iraq itself. A successful rollout of this exchange process has the potential to boost confidence in the nation's financial stability, attract greater investment, and open doors to stronger international partnerships. This is about more than just currency notes, it is about repositioning Iraq in the global marketplace. By setting rules that emphasize stability, security, and transparency, the country aims to show the world that it is ready to handle a transition of this magnitude responsibly. Reaction within the dinar community has already been strong. After years of waiting and relying mostly on speculation, holders now have something concrete to study and prepare for. Many are beginning to organize their documents, review the rules, and plan how to respond when their tier is called. The release of these official guidelines has provided not just direction, but also a sense of relief. For the first time, there is a roadmap instead of scattered hints. This has shifted the tone of discussions from guesswork to focused preparation, giving the community new energy and clarity. Banks will play a central role in carrying out this process, and the framework makes that very clear. Their readiness will determine how smoothly exchanges move forward. Internal signals such as updated rate sheets or official notifications are expected to be some of the earliest signs of change. For holders, monitoring these developments closely could make the difference between a smooth exchange and unnecessary delays. Especially for those in later tiers, being aware of the timeline is critical, since their window may be shorter once the process reaches them. In the end, the most important message is that preparation matters. The framework has provided the guidance and rules that holders have been waiting for, but success will depend on each person's ability to stay alert, organized, and patient. This is the clearest path forward we have seen in years, and it transforms the conversation from speculation into planning, whether the exchange begins earlier or later in 2025. The foundation is now in place. The focus is no longer on wondering what might happen, but on preparing for what has been clearly outlined. The process is now one step closer to becoming reality.